Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Naomi Schultz. I'm so happy to be making this video today, and it is all about my story and my testimony on how I met Jesus and how he transformed my life. If you want to know my story, just keep on watching. So of course I have my chai tea latte with me because this is just kind of like a story video. Nothing too serious, and I just want to sit down and talk as if I was sitting down with a best friend chatting. For some reason I have been putting this video off for such a long time, and I'm not really sure why that is the case, but I just, part of me, something inside me is just like, don't make it. I think that's the enemy telling me not to make it because it could be very powerful. Your story is very powerful, and I think he's telling me not to do it because he is afraid of what it can do for someone's life who hears this. So I made myself sit down today, got my chai tea latte, and I am ready to talk about my life and how I met Jesus and how you can meet Jesus. Starting out, I grew up in a family that always went to church. I just knew Sunday mornings we went to church. Actually, my mom was very active in the church. She did a lot of programs in our church, so I almost lived at church some days. And some days of the week, me and my brother and sister, we just knew we would hang out at the church all day, and Sundays we would stay really late with family talking, and we were just really surrounded by the church. And I was very active in sports and school. I was a pretty good kid, I should say, in elementary school and going into middle school. But something in middle school changed. Once middle school hit, church life also hit. And I'm not going to speak upon my parents' story, but it is also part of my story. And church kind of became a burden to go to. It was not joy-filled at all. There was a lot of things that happened inside of our church towards us as a family, and it took a toll on us. And from that moment, we would go to church, but honestly, our family got into fights and stuff about even going to church. Like, it was so not joyful at all. And I kind of just started having a hard heart, and I'm like, why are we even going to church? Like, it's so pointless to go if we act like this. Like, it'd be a good Sunday if we did not fight. And like, that isn't how church should be, and going to church should be a fun thing, a family thing, and it just was not. And it kind of drew me back from the church, and I didn't do any programs or activities. I didn't hang out with Christian friends, and in school I didn't have any Christian friends. I was in a lot of sports and activities in school, and those weren't Christian like-minded people. So church was falling apart on Sundays, and I was in activities and stuff, doing other things in school. So I was being pulled in different directions, and the church was hurting my family. So obviously I was being pulled to school and peers and all that, because that was more joy-filled than the church hurting us. Well, high school came, and I was still very, very active in sports, especially volleyball. I would play sports on the weekends. We would travel as a family. We would go all over for volleyball, and it kind of consumed my life. Like, spring, fall, winter, I was playing some type of sport, and we were always so busy. And I wasn't in a youth group at this point. I didn't have any Christian friends, and all I had was sports and school and peers. And anything that would fill me up and make me happy, I would chase after it and expect that to fill me up. Yeah, it might fill me up in that split moment, but it didn't fill me up as a whole. So I was in high school, had really good friend group, freshman, sophomore, kind of junior year, and we were very close. Also in a really, really long relationship in high school, and it obviously ended in a breakup because I am now married to Tyler, but that took a really big toll on me and put my heart into things that didn't matter. And I had this foundation of earthly relationships when I needed a relationship with God, because that is the most firm foundation that anyone will ever have. But during that breakup, it was like a pivotal moment of my whole mindset and attitude and behavior change for the good. But I also had to go through a very rough point. Like I said before, I was chasing meaningless things and worthless things, and so when that all came crushing down, my whole world came crushing down because I didn't have a firm foundation at all. It was all so stacked up on these worldly things like friends, boyfriends, my sports, athleticism, anything like that. And once it all came crashing down, I didn't have anything. I felt so broken, and it came my junior year of high school was, I would honestly say, it was terrible. I was so depressed. I sought out counseling, and shout out to my counselor because I still talk about her today, and she is a godsend. And I honestly would leave school early if I was having a bad day just to go talk to her. So my counselor was amazing. I love her. So the world, in my world, started crashing down. With my relationship started failing, my friendship started failing, and everything. What I needed to do next was to change schools. So I transferred schools my senior year of high school, and again, this just shows you that I was chasing worldly things to make me feel good. Yeah, that senior year of high school was great. I didn't have any problems at the new school, but I shouldn't have sought a worldly thing to fill the void I was feeling and the sadness I was feeling. But I kept on chasing something to make me feel better. And if I went to this new school, all my problems would be fixed. If I had these new friends, everything would be fixed. Like, I kept on seeking worldly things to fix my problems. After Christmas, my senior year of high school, it was coming down to graduation, something really hit me. I was laying in bed one night, and I was on Twitter, and the song Oceans, someone tweeted the lyrics. It was previously brand new at that time, and I listened to it. And at this point, I never listened to Christian music. I never read my Bible or nothing, so this was brand new. So someone tweeted this song, and I listened to it, and I just had this overwhelming feeling of God telling me, like, what are you doing, Naomi? I am here for you, and you are going the opposite direction. I am here, and you're over here, and you're still going that way. And you're not even coming to me, and I can feel your void, and I can feel your need that you're longing for. And I just had this realization that, what am I doing? What I am seeking after is not going to get me anywhere. But it was at that moment where I decided that I'm going to take this seriously. But I still did not tell people I was doing this. So I would privately, in my bedroom at night, open my Bible and read the word and just spend time with God. And I don't think I publicly, I didn't even let my parents know I was reading my Bible, because it was so opposite behavior for me. I don't know, I was almost just shameful of who I was acting like. I just had this feeling that I didn't deserve God, so I didn't let anyone know I wanted that relationship, that I was seeking that relationship. It was just so unlike me at that time. And as I'm speaking of this right now, I just remembered this moment when I had my high school job at Runza. I used to be a Runza worker, and one of my coworkers asked me if I was a Christian and if I went to church. And that hit me like a ton of bricks, and I didn't know how to respond, because I grew up most of my life being a Christian, and I knew right from wrong. I knew what to do, and I just knew who I needed to be. But on the outside, I was not portraying that at all. Like, people had to question me even if I was a Christian or if I went to church, and that hurt, because I didn't want to be who I was being. I knew who I should be, but I didn't know how to get there, and I longed for that. So back up, I was reading the Bible and studying the Word by myself, and I finally just decided, it was like a pivotal moment, that I did a 180 turn. I started losing all my friends. Literally, I'm not kidding. I lost every single friend when I made the choice to follow God. And I'm not saying that to scare you. If you are not a Christ follower, or if you don't have Jesus in your heart, I'm not saying that to scare you, oh my gosh, you're gonna lose all your friends if you follow Jesus. That is just what I needed. And looking back now, yes, it sucked terribly. I literally had no friends, and I can say that honestly. My mom would drive past me at the park with a fold-out chair, and I'd read books. Like, I fell in love with books, because non-fictional books, because I just love the characters, and that's all the friends I had. It's so sad and so silly looking back on it, but I lost every single friend. But God knew I needed to lose all those friends, because he wanted me so undistracted by the world, because he stirred my spirit up and sent me to Bible college. Now, this was a whole new avenue that people were probably not expecting me to go to, because like I said, I was chasing boys and sports, and Bible college was not on the radar. I was not the type of girl to go to Bible college, and I didn't know worship songs, I didn't know Bible verses, I did not even know how to even study the Bible. And yet, me going to Bible college, like, that just was unheard of, and people probably thought I was absolutely crazy or a hypocrite at that point, because she's acting all goody two-shoe, but she's acting this way, and that wasn't on purpose. God was stirring my spirit, and you guys had to watch from the outside. God stirred my spirit, and on July 2015, so I've already graduated, I still had no idea where I wanted to go to college. I had scholarships for volleyball, and I tried out for volleyballs, and I still have messages. I looked back on the iCloud on my laptop, and I had messages from coaches messaging me and saying, like, I tried out and they were still in contact, and they were going to get back to me, and they would say, I don't know, they would say that they would get back to me in like a couple of days because they really want me, and then it would be ghosted. I had no response. And then literally a couple weeks later, I had this stirring in my heart, and I remember calling the office at Bible college and just crying. And this was so weird because they didn't even know me, but they acted like they knew me, if that makes any sense. And I was just crying. I was like, I have no idea where I want to go to college, but I have this feeling that I need to go here to Bible college. And they were like, Naomi, that is God telling you to come here, and we're not saying that you need to come to this specific college, but he's calling you to a Bible college and a ministry. And this feeling that you're feeling, that is God telling you and leading you. And it's sometimes so fearful to jump out of your comfort zone, but that is what God is calling you to do right now. So in July of 2015, I enrolled in Bible college. And I remember walking on campus the first day, and it was like a breath of fresh air. It really was. People didn't know my past or anything. I was like a clean slate. But I was with like-minded people. And looking back on who I was in high school, I wish I would have took my faith more seriously, because I would have not had so many heartbreaks, or I wouldn't suffer for depression so many times. I would just lay in bed in high school, and like, it would be so hard to get up. And looking back, like, that is not who I am at all. I just feel so much alive and joy-filled, and even when I'm having a hard day, I can still smile and say I'm joyful because Christ is with me. Like, that was, I don't know, like 5 years ago, when I made the decision to follow Christ and really make my faith my own, because I grew up in a Christian home. I was baptized at the age of 5, but I had to make my faith my own. When we go to heaven, we cannot hold our parents' hands into the gates of heaven and God let us in. No, he's going to judge us one by one. My parents can't get me into heaven. I need to make that choice for myself and to obey God because I want to, not because someone is telling me to do. And senior year of high school, I made that decision. I made that decision to make my faith my own. And it was the best decision I have ever made, and my life would not be where it is today. I don't even want to imagine where I would be if I didn't go to Bible college and I went the more secular route to college. And I'm not bashing people who go to college. This is just my story of what I needed to do, because if I went to a secular campus, who knows what I would be doing, honestly, and where I'd be at. I'd probably be in a very deep mess, honestly, because of how I was seeking worldly things and not seeking who I really needed to be seeking. I hope this story makes sense, and it is just my story. It's nothing too spectacular, and part of me did not want to make this video because it's not a crazy story, and I was not a drug addict or anything like that came to know Christ. I was just an ordinary girl who grew up in church, who was so lost in the world, and then she found Jesus and she's alive again. And that's basically all it is. And if you're watching this and you kind of have the same situation, who you are chasing boys and just friends and that next social status in your sports or anything like that, and you just keep chasing it, but yet it isn't filling you up, God is the only one who can fill it up completely, who can make you feel alive when you feel sad, or when you mourn, you can dance. Like, God is the only one. I want, like, nothing in this world can fill you up besides God. God is the only one who can do that. With all that, that is also why I use social media so abundantly to share my faith, because just like I was in high school, I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw the song Oceans by Hillsong, and that is the clicking moment of me realizing there is something greater than I am, and I need to find out who he is, and he needs to be part of me. He needs to be in my heart, and I need to serve him. And just because of Twitter, late at night, that was a pivotal moment of me chasing after Christ and making my faith my own. So that is my goal in this whole YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anything, is because I do not know who sees my stuff, but if it is anyone who was like me, maybe, just maybe, God will meet you in one of my social media posts, and you can know that you are loved, you are worth it, and there is something greater for you. Receive it. It's a free gift, guys. All you have to do is repent and believe in him. It is a free gift given to us. So I just pray that people who see this know that, and know that you're loved. And I was in the same shoes at one point too. I hope that encouraged you guys. Leave testimonies and prayer requests in the comments down below, and I will chat with you guys down there. And you can subscribe as well if you would like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day and keep seeking after Jesus, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.